but he encountered a sandstorm halfway. He became fully lost from his friend, but he also stumbled upon the entrance to an ancient relic. Stepped decisively into the ancient relic. Inside, it was pitch dark and he could see nothing. However, he struck a match, hoping to see inside the cavern. He suddenly saw distant eyes, observing his every move stealthily. The old priest was terrified by the sight, but when he struck another match, he found that the eyes had vanished. Yet, at the instant he lit the third match, a mysterious winged being appeared before him. Then it sank its teeth into his neck. After greedily draining his blood, it stood up slowly, still wanting more. Only then did the old priest see clearly. The being had wings like an angel. The old priest was filled with reverence. With his last strength, he spoke a prayer, expressing his respects to the angel, and slowly extended a hand toward him. It used its nail to slice open its breast, and fed the old priest its blood. Old priest finally woke up from his coma. The sandstorm outside faded away. He stumbled to the cave entrance to take a look, only to find that the him had transformed. A drastic change had occurred at that moment. Rejuvenated, he became a vigorous young man. Old priest was bewildered by what had happened. He glanced back at the angel behind him. He noticed the angel feared the sun. Thus, to benefit his flock, he found a sealed box within ancient ruins. He found a way to box the angel. First, he disguised himself as an envoy from the church replaced old priest, successfully gaining the congregation's acceptance. He secretly mixed his blood into the wine, then poured the wine into the chalice for mass. If someone can't get to church, he would even go to their homes to hold private mass, ensuring they drank the wine mixed with his blood. As time passed, the congregants' bodies began to exhibit noticeable changes. Had suffered severe rheumatism in his waist, needing family to assist him just to walk. But ever since he started drinking the priest's wine, his back pain has completely vanished. And the grandmother suffering from dementia, since she started drinking the priest's wine, has miraculously regained her awareness, and her compassion has become much more useful. A month quickly passed in this way. One day, Miss Keene stepped up to share her insights, but the priest seemed lost in thought, staring thoughtfully at a girl in a wheelchair. But when he led the service, he inexplicably walked up to the girl, approaching to receive the communion bread from him. As the girl in the wheelchair attempted to move closer, the priest seemed to mischievously back away up the steps, urging her to stand and take the bread from his hands. The churchgoers saw the priest's odd acts, The girl miraculously stood up from her wheelchair. Amid the astonished faces of the crowd, she walked step by step up the stairs to Father Paul. Lhasa was in a wheelchair from a spinal injury at age 6. As people were amazed by this rare miracle, Father Paul's expression suddenly turned pale. He ran out the church's back door without a word. Back at his house, he couldn't help but cough up blood. Miss Keene noticed something was off with Father Paul. She hurried into his house after him. As she waited for Father Paul in the restroom, she casually glanced at a young photo of Father Paul on the wall. She was once again taken aback by the sight. It's a miracle! Soon, news of Lisa's walking miracle spread throughout the island. People flocked like wolves smelling meat, eager to see Father Paul in person. Yet they didn't expect that the priest at the lectern would suddenly faint again without warning. Took Father Paul to Dr. Sarah's house. After examining him, she found that he was only infected with the virus. Drink lots of water to heal fast. Then Father Paul went to the center. He tutored 2 guys one-on-one. Then he just returned to his residence, in front of Miss Keene and 3 other parishioners. He suddenly collapsed inexplicably. It was like he took poison. Foaming at the mouth, he convulsed. Miss Keene and the others witnessing this had no idea what was happening. Before they could recover from their shock, "Father, thank God!" This terrified the 4 people present. If the last miracle was just luck, then the resurrection of the priest was utterly astonishing to them. As Father's condition worsened, Miss Keene had to post on the bulletin board, canceling the mass scheduled for today. She then entered the priest's room with meal trays, as she was about to open the curtains for him, preventing Miss Keene from opening them, and he didn't eat the meal she brought. However, after Miss Keene left the room, the priest cautiously reached out his hand, allowing sunlight to touch his skin. From then on, the priest could not move around during the day, nor could he eat or drink like an ordinary person. The priest finally saw the situation's weight. He meant to seek guidance and help from the angel, but the angel had vanished for several days. What he never expected was that what he brought to the islanders was not just benefit. Since the angel was smuggled to the island by the priest, during the day it hides in a box to nap. At night, the angel would fly out to hunt. Had their blood cruelly drained by it, and were washed up on the beach by that tsunami, nearly scaring the island's folk. The angel's hunger grew more unhinged. It even started turning on the island's residents. On a dark and windy night, the singleton passed by an unoccupied house. When the door opened by itself for no reason, curious, the singleton approached and called inside. "Hello, is anyone there?" The singleton was clueless who taunted him inside. He stepped in carefully to have a look, only to find a creature squatting in the corner. The singleton widened his eyes for a closer look, only to realize that it had a pair of wings. He hurried to turn and escape, but found that it was already too late.